lesson, we're going to take a look at the song Ripple by Grateful Dead. So first we're going to look at the chord progressions in the song. We just got a couple of real basic chord progressions. So we'll run through those chord progressions first. And after we go over the chord progressions, then I'll show you how to play that little acoustic guitar instrumental arrangement that I played at the beginning of this video. So we'll work through that with some tablature on the screen and give you all some really good tips for flat picking in this real simple, kind of bluesy country style. Really like the style of Grateful Dead, and lots of good stuff to work on in this lesson. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over the chord progressions first. So here's the first chord progression we're going to look at. And by the way, there are only two main chord progressions that you need to learn to practice through this entire song. So this first progression, this is the verse chord progression. And then the second progression we're going to look at, that's going to be the chorus chord progression. So let's check out this verse chord progression right here, starting with that G major chord. And by the way, for the G major chord, I like to use this fingering for this song right here. I'm not pressing my pointer finger down at all, and I'm using my middle, ring, and pinky fingers. So that's how I play the G chord throughout this entire song, basically. All right, let's play through this verse chord progression using a boom, chick, strumming pattern. Boom, chick, pick, strum, and you can hear that I'm alternating those bass line picks back and forth between two bass note strings. So that's kind of what we're doing with the strumming there. It's pick, strum, alternating bass line. Okay, so here's the verse chord progression. Let me play through it and I'll shout the chords out. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, G, C, 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 G, G, So that's the verse right there. Pause the video if you want to work on that a little bit. And when you're ready, let's check out the chorus chord progression. And this one's pretty basic here too. Same thing, boom, chick, strumming pattern, starting with the A minor chord. A minor, D, D, G, C, A, D, and then it goes straight into the verse chord progression right after the choruses. So really at this point, the only thing we got to do is just go over that nice instrumental that we're going to begin the song with. The one that I played at the beginning of this lesson video, remember? Something like that. But now we're going to go check that out in the next portion of this lesson. We're going to pull up the tablature on the screen and we'll break it down one line at a time. So here's the guitar tablature for this instrumental intro. Let me play through this first line so I can get a feel for it. Here we go. That's it. So the very first measure on the screen, that is a pickup measure. We have 4 pickup notes that will actually lead us into the actual chord progression that starts in the second measure. So the actual chord progression for this instrumental intro, the actual chord progression is just the verse chord progression. So basically what we're doing here is just playing the verse chord progression that we already went over, but we're adding some chord embellishments and some extra melody picks and stuff like that to make it sound a little bit fancier. So basically just starting this song out with the verse chord progression, but playing it a little bit fancier. So anyways, very first measure is the pickup measure. We just got down, 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 up, down, 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 up. And that's the pickup measure. And then we get to the second measure, and then right at the beginning of that second measure, we're basically just forming the G major chord. So pick, 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 into the G chord. So that's the second measure. Pick, down, pick, up, down, up. Pick, down, pick, up, down, up. Then the third measure, we're doing some picking of individual notes. And for this third measure, you can basically lift your fretting hand off the fretboard. You no longer have to hold down that G chord. So third measure. One more time. Third measure. Down, 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 up, up. Down, 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 up, up. Down, 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 up, up. Then when you're ready, just got to add on that fourth measure. And fourth measure, we're playing this over a C chord, but we don't have to form the entire C chord at the beginning of the fourth measure. You just need your pointer finger down of that C chord in the beginning. And then you're going to hammer your middle finger of the C chord about halfway through. So pointer, hammer, strum, strum. And then you'll see when we get to the fifth measure, we'll put our ring finger down of the C chord and do a pick strum. So basically working into that C chord one finger at a time, starting with the pointer to the middle, to the ring, pick strum, that fifth measure in 1 second. So anyways, that's the first line right there. Let's play through it one more time and then we'll move on to the next line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then go to the next line. We got measures 5 through 8. Sounds like this. All right, so measure 5, like I mentioned earlier, very beginning of measure 5, we're going to work into the entire C chord, pressing our ring finger down, and we'll just do a pick, strum, right at the beginning of it, right there in measure 5. So pick, strum, dun, dun, dun. Right at the end of measure 5, we got the little dun, 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 up, down, up. That's the pick stroke direction. Up, down, up. So pick, strum, up, down, up. And then that last up pick in measure 5, you see that it's kind of tied to the next measure, that tied note right there, that little arched line. That means you're just going to let that last up pick ring out into the 6th measure, and that open string with the parentheses in the 6th measure, you're not going to actually pick that note, but it's just ringing out from the previous measure. And that's what's going on right there. It's a tied note. So anyways, measures 5 and 6 together. Let's do that. basically just holding the C chord right there for all that, except you're working that middle finger around to do some hammer-on chord embellishments. So that's what we're doing actually for this entire line. Just holding the C chord but moving the middle finger. So that's measures 5 and 6. Now measure 7, we'll do pick, strum, strum, hammer, strum, strum. Pretty basic. Then measure 8, same type of thing. We'll do pick, strum, strum, pick, hammer, pick. Pick, strum, strum, pick, hammer, pick. Pick, strum, strum, pick, hammer, pick. So the timing of this line is a little bit strange, but let me play through it one more time, nice and slow, and hopefully you can get a good feel for it that way. And then we'll move on to the next line. So almost done here. So measures 5 through 8. That last up pick in measure 8, right there, open 4th string, you're actually going to let that ring out into the beginning of measure 9 as well. We got a tied note at the beginning of measure 9. See right there? So that note's just ringing out from the previous measure. So that takes care of the first beat in measure 9. And then dun, 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 we're going to pick back up that melody. So let's play the rest of this line, measures 9 through 12, starting with that little melody.